Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Um, Today's Sunday. I normally don't do too much work on Sunday, but last night my daughter called me and said they had no hot water. She tried lighting the pilot. The pilot wouldn't light, so came here Sunday just to figure what's going on. She basically troubleshooted for me over the phone. She told me that she tried lighting it several times, holding the pilot button down for maybe 2 minutes or more. It wouldn't stay lit. And so she knows how to do all that. And pilot still didn't lit. So we went through the scenario a few times. Still no pilot lit. So I automatically I said it's a thermocouple. So I tried lighting it. Same thing. So I picked up two thermocouples from Home Depot. I picked up a 36-inch and a 24-inch just to be on the safe side. These hot water heaters usually take the 24-inch. So, in case you're not too sure what a thermocouple is, let me give you a picture of it, how it looks. And then we're going to try to change this thermocouple out. So here we have, okay, that's the 36-inch. And the only difference is the length and the price. I think everything else is pretty much the same, I believe. And you pretty much take out the old one, put the new one in the same exact order. First things first, you find your gas valve. Shut off your gas valve. So we know it's not the tank because the tank's not leaking. So whenever you see the line going across the pipe like this, well, with the pipe I should say, that means it's open. So you just want to give it a half a turn, just like that. If you can see it, see how I just turned it right there. So when it's crossed the pipe, it's off. So down here we have these are held in by torque screws. So that's a T20. So it's probably a T20. It says do not turn pilot past A, so we won't do that. I'm just gonna get an adjustable wrench here and see if we can try to do this with one hand. It's not easy, but I'm gonna try. I'm a beginner at this YouTube stuff, so we're gonna turn this thing on. We got that moving, so it's moving. I think I felt it move. Let's try it again. It felt like it moved a little bit. Either it's moving or I don't have it tight enough. Let's see. Well, I guess it moved because it is coming out. I can get this to come out. Okay, that moved, so that's out. So we took that out of there. That came out of that little threaded area right there. So that's one thing out. Yeah, and that's the same head. That same size head that you see in there is the same size head that you're gonna see right there. So that's the piece, this little piece right here. That piece there is that same piece. Okay, now so we move the thermocouple, and we got two more that we gotta disconnect over here. So we got the gas line. Some people don't shut off the main because in reality, unless you turn the knob, the gas won't come out. But it's always safe to turn off the gas just in case. Sometimes I do it without shutting off the gas line because I know if the valve is in the off position, it won't allow it to go through. But however, some gas could pass through the pilot if you don't have it off in the right manner. So let's get this. If we can get this thing a little tricky with this little small wrench here, so we can get a little nudge. Okay, we got a little nudge out of that. See this. If I get my hand, that right there, unscrew this out. Just take your time. You're not in a rush. You take your time. Once it's out, you just kind of give it a down pull. And see, it just falls down by itself. So that means that's out. All I gotta do now is just kind of pull it down a little bit. These are all compression type fittings, so that should come down. Just gotta apply a little pressure, not a lot, just enough to. Maybe I gotta use 2 hands on it. There we go. Came down a little bit. Put the camera down just a tad bit, just to apply with 2 hands. You want to kind of direct it. There we go. Direct it in the right direction. There we go. Oh, there we go. It's a flex line. You just want to take your time and do it. Now, by me moving that flex line out the way, gives me more space to get this last pilot line. This little line for the pilot right here. Just get your adjustable wrench around it so it's square. And let's see if I get a good grip. I'm closing it the wrong way. Should be opening it. Okay, now we're tight. I think that might have did it. So it's moving. Sometimes it's not as easy. I'll probably make it look easier than it is. Okay, so now we got all 3 is loose now. We got the little pilot line, we got the gas line, and the thermocouple loose. The only other thing you gotta loosen is the igniter, little sparker. There's a little sparker on top of here, and you just unplug this. Just see how that just came off? I just unplugged it. I just pulled it. You can see that. This little wire here, this orange thing right here, was right plugged in right here. So it just came off of this wire. That's a little button you push to remove that. So I have, okay, let's go like this. I have my impact drill. See, I'm gonna sit this down for a second so I can do it without. So I got this little chuck. This little chuck is my adapter for my socket, and I have a it's a T10 torque. Well, it is called a torque, but it's a T10. No, I'm not telling the correct answer. It's a T20. Sorry about that. T20. So this is a T20. I put it in my little chuck. So I got my T20 right here. I'm going to put it on the end of my little drill. And that should take out these screws. If it doesn't, then we got a problem. So let's see what happens. Okay. Okay, got 1 screw out. Always take your time. Get it in there. Get screws out. Not too bad. Sometimes you have problems taking these out. So this is going better than I thought it would. Make sure the screws are in there. Because if you cross thread it or you strip it, then you have more trouble. So we're in there. We're squared off. That one came out. 1 more screw, which is right here. Mind you, yesterday all I was doing is just repairing heating systems. Sometimes most of the calls that people call for heating is it's like it's got to be cleaned off a little bit too. Little deposits there. Okay, see that thermocouple looks pretty bad, so we're gonna change that out. You guys can see this thermocouple right here. I get a good angle. It's pretty burnt out. Yeah, looks like it's in the right spot and everything, just burnt out. So I'm gonna take this all apart and I'm gonna try to see if I can do this. It's gonna be hard for me to hold the camera and do it, but let's see if I can put the camera down somewhere while I do it. Let's see if I can set the camera over here. My assortment of tools that I use. Sometimes you need more than that, but try to know what you need to bring. Okay. Let's see if we can separate this bad boy. We're gonna put this camera right I don't know, maybe I can put it this way. It's gonna be tough to. It's gonna be maybe tough to do this. I'm gonna try to do it where you guys can see what I'm doing. I don't have my cameraman with me, so next time I could probably do that. Alright, so if I'm right here, I guess you can see what I'm doing. So see what tools we need and what we're gonna do. We're using a 24-inch because this is not too long. So this little rubber thing comes out. So let me start off with over here. First, let me take off this little clamp that's holding this all together. Take off this clamp, put the clamp down there. Okay. Next, you're gonna take the thermocouple here. This should feed right through this. Let's see. This may be too. We have to put a little slice in this. We'll find out in a second. We have to cut that. Okay, we got this. I'm gonna have to slice this out a little bit. And lucky me, I didn't bring my razor, so I gotta probably get a knife or something upstairs just to cut that boot. Because these things don't really fit through the boot. Then again, they probably could. So this is the one that we're going to be working with most, is the thermocouple, so we'll focus on that one. Right here, I'm going to use my adjustable wrench, and I want to take off that little nut on the back of this. There's a little nut that you trace the thermocouple back. Oh, this one doesn't have it. This one doesn't have the nut. It makes it a little easier to come out then. So I should be able to just pull this straight out. Let's see. Let's get that little strain relief off of it. If I pull this hard enough, it's almost out. It's a little bit more. I just wiggle it with my needle nose. Okay, so that piece is off. The little clip is still here. The little clip, all that does is keep it from pulling all the way. Basically keeps it stationary. So I can push that through. Maybe I'll just use that for the new one since it's in there so good. You don't have to really take that out because it comes with a new one. Okay, this is. I should be able to pull this thermocouple straight through this rubber boot without cutting it. Sometimes you have to cut them if the head's too big, but this looks like it's going to pull right through. So pull this thermocouple right through here. Just trying to. You got to kind of work it through. You should be able to go through without cutting it, because I'm assuming that this thing is just a push through. It looks like it is. If I just pull it with enough pressure. Gotta put a lot of pressure on it. Some people are saying, whoops, that thing just broke anyway. I guess I will have to cut this head off. This head looks like it's tough to pull through. So basically we'll just snip the head. We'll snip the head off. Or just, yeah, it can't hurt to cut the head. cut the head off. It's kind of, normally you can get it through. This rubber is probably a little old and not expandable. Sometimes you can expand the rubber and push it through. Either way. So get our 24-inch thermocouple out, which is right here. Unroll it. So we're going to unroll it out like that. Okay, we got it to a point where we want to get it all unrolled. And the new one, you don't want to kink it. You want to kind of give them bends, but not kinks. Not like more of a radius. So we're sticking a new one through. So push it from the base. Force it through nice and gentle. Oh, broke it. This rubber is old. This rubber is very old. That rubber shouldn't break that easy, but it is for some reason. That's just to keep the some of the gases from coming back. So when I'm done, see if I can seal that up with some high temperature silicone or something. That's all you need, just to make sure the seal is tight. No gases coming back at you. So I'm going to give this a slight little bend. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to push this into the little sleeve. So push it in, push more. Push a little bit more. Okay. So you want the thermocouple just a little bit more into the flame. So you want the flame and the thermocouple almost to be like side by side. Right there. So that's pretty good. If the thermocouple, the tip of the thermocouple is out where the offense of the flame is, that's good. You get the igniter right here. That's going to give you the spark to get the flame going. And then that's going to be facing at the thermocouple, so that's going to give you what you need. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to push this stuff back through. So it's the same kind of reversed process. So we're going to push this thermocouple through there too, because this has to go through there. So make sure all three of these go through. Take your time with this, don't rush, because if you rush, you make mistakes. Guess what? You got to do it all over again. Just don't be afraid to be a little rough, not too rough. Make sure this all has the right bend to it. I'm trying to get that same contour that I had when I took it out. So I'm going to bring this down. That looks pretty good. That looks good right there. Okay. Slide this up. So this little boot's going to have to go back into this little hole. If you want to make it a better angle for myself to do this, I got to kind of push this with both my thumbs. Make sure that goes in there. Push. Kind of work it in there. There we go. Okay, so the boot is in there. And it actually created a seal. So if you look on the outside, the seal is still there. The seal is this. I don't think I need silicone at all because it popped into the groove. That just to add a seal on the inside, which if you see it, doesn't really affect anything but just a little edge. So that seal is there. Now, put my clamp back on because remember I had this little clamp that was holding these to the thing here. So I want to. I got my little radius here. That's good. I got that. I'll put this little clamp back on, which is back on there. Now, based on looking at all this, we're ready to install this back where it came from. Move this onto the far side, like so. So I got everything back. So let's go back to the heater and see what we can do here. Get this bad boy up and running. Let me blow off these while I get them out. Make sure there's no dust and debris on them. Alright, let's take a walk over here. Man, one of these days I'll do a better video. This is just a basic idea how to change a thermocouple. So we use a 24-inch thermocouple. The inside looks pretty good. I don't see any real debris in here. But this would be the best time to vacuum it out if you were to vacuum it out, because you're gonna have no other time to do it. So that looks pretty good. Now we're gonna push this inside, nice and gentle, not to shift anything, not to move anything. Push those in there. Now what I like to do, I like to get these started first. At least get these tightened up and in place, because it makes it easier before I take off that door and push that door in place. So let me get this pilot in there first, since he's the furthest one away. Line them up. Screw it into the little thing there. It would help if I had my little work light so I can see better. So we're gonna put this in there. Make sure it's straight. It's not cross-threading. Something's not straight, because you're supposed to be able to push it straight in and turn it without any force. If you feel like you gotta force it, then something's not right. So hold on. Let me see what I got here. Okay, it's not all the way pushed up. Right. Sometimes you gotta get up close and see what's going on. Because if you don't, you're never gonna know. And always be gentle with this, because if it's off to an angle and the threads are not lining up, that will cause a big, not quite there. I think that's it. Okay. I got that first one screwed in there. Gonna tighten this up pretty good. Make sure you snug it. Because keep in mind, these are all compression fittings. So the snugness is going to be the seal. So if you leave it loose, see that I get it snug now. Just tighten up this wrench a little bit, make sure it's on the nut. And okay, that's snug. That's good. You don't need to over tighten them. You just got to make sure they go into the slot. So this gives me better leverage to push this in there. Now I think I'm gonna come back just a tad bit. Alright. Gonna do the same thing with this one. Line it up. Make sure when I tighten it, it's not. I just feel like that might be cross-threading. Let me make sure, because you want to get at least 2 or 3 turns without force. Because if we gotta force it, then something's not going straight. Yeah, that feels like it's better. I got a couple of good turns out of that, and it's going in. You got a couple of good turns, you know it's threaded properly. If you feel too much resistance, check the threads, make sure that there's nothing stuck in the debris of them. There's nothing crossing it. You don't want to force it, because then once you start forcing it and you're grinding metal against metal, now you have a bigger problem. You end up changing the gas valve, changing more than you need to be changing. So you don't want to be doing all that. So this thing here is almost snugged up. A couple more turns, it would be right in there. It's a good idea to, you can always test these after you get them snugged up. You can check with some soapy water, some dish detergent, a spray bottle, 50-50 you can do, 25-75. Once you have the gas on, just spray all the fittings. Just make sure you have nothing coming out, no bubbles. So, okay, so we got this coming down, which is good. Got that going there. This one, I want to line up my plate here at the same time. So I want to make sure I get this lined up. Just got to line up with my screws. So where's my screw holes at? Down. So it's got to come down just a tad bit. And it's not hard to do. Just got to kind of bend the pipe. Now, let's see where my holes are. I think I see one here and one there. So I want to try to, so I can start one. If I can get one started. I think that's right in there. I just want to get these started. I don't want to screw them all in until I get all 4 in the hole. But at least if I got them in the hole, I know where I want to be at. Okay. Okay. I'm making this look a lot easier than it is. Sometimes this is not this easy. Sometimes you catch all kind of crap trying to do this. And everybody has a different way of doing it. There's no wrong way, as long as it's installed properly and it works. And you double check all your work before you do it. These pipes, these little tubings, you don't want to bend them too much. You want to give them a good bend, but not a crazy bend. Okay, so we got this. I'm going to slide this straight. This thermocouple connector. I just want to make sure this thing goes in there. I felt a little resistance. I want to just reseat it just to make sure I'm in there. Because I don't want to be fighting it. If I got to fight it, then either I'm at an angle. I'm known for doing this multiple times. I always try to make sure I'm seated in there. I feel like that's in there. I'll try it one more time just to make sure I'm in there. Because I don't want to. I hate the cross thread stuff and then find out it's crooked or it's not working. And trust me, it has happened before. If you don't really take your time. Patience is a virtue, they say. I think that's in there. Just want to double check. And my eyes are looking pretty good at it. Just take this out, push it straight back in. Okay. Because when you tighten this is going to push the connector. These things give off like a 20, I believe they create a 20 milliamp, if I'm not mistaken. 20 milliamps to open up the gas valve, or 20.5 or something like that. I'm not sure the exact numbers. But sometimes you could test these too. You could heat them up with a torch and see if you're getting, I don't want to be saying the wrong answer, but I believe it's 20 milliamps you should be getting out. You can put your ohm meter to milliamps and set it, and you should get a reading. The negative should be the middle, and then the positive should be the brass side. And I don't really test these things. I usually just, if they don't work, change them. Sometimes you could clean off the edges of them and put new ones on, but just clean them off. You don't put new ones on. Just clean them. Okay, one more snug, and I think we're here. Because these things you don't want to over tighten these bad boys. Okay, so this looks pretty good. As long as this door can close, which I might have to bring this down a little. Can I just tip it to the side? Yeah, I guess I could tip it to the side like that. Tip it just like that. That'd be sufficient. I just want that covered when I put the cover on for it to be able to close. And that look like it will close. So I'm gonna put this plug back in, which is just a plug. It's a simple push-in plug. Once you feel the connection, once you pull it in, it makes the connection. So it's there. I plugged it back into the little harness. I should have turned the light on, but now I'm going to open this gas valve. Just take this gas valve, just lift it up. See that? Up until it's open. Right there, it's open. So these valves either open or close. It's either one or the other. Let's see. Put the light on. I'm gonna put this thing to pilot. I'm gonna set that to pilot right there. Now, let's set the pilot. This, you can leave it where it's at, or you could turn it to pilot lighting. Actually, it should be on this side then. Pilot lighting's right there. So that's pilot lighting. Push down this. Now you're gonna hold this because you gotta get all that gas that come from here. It's gonna go from here all the way down. That's quite a ways of gas coming out of that little line. So I usually hold it down for like almost 2 minutes just to get the gas to come all the way through. And after you hold it down for like at least 1 minute, You just want to periodically check and see if you got spark. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to try to zip those screws together. Because it's like 3-4 screws that I got to zip into place. So let me go grab my drill and do that. And that should be an easy zip because, oops, dropped my phone down, which is not good. Okay, I'm just going to zip these in while I got the, just snug them, just snug them. Once you hear the drill make that noise, no sense of hitting it, hearing the impact sound. You don't need to hear the impact sound. Some people like to hear the sound of the impact, but you don't really need all that because these screws just go in. For some reason it doesn't go in. You can, there you go. That might have been off kilter a little bit. Oh, one more time. There we go. You don't need to force them too hard. So we're holding on this pilot. And while we're holding on the pilot, see if I can get this